Well, hello, Facebook, YouTube, and wherever else our video goes. We are really thrilled to be here and share a little bit of time with you on this Thursday night. And I'm to you, Nat. And next to me is
Dr. Michael Gross. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Michael has a beautiful message for us tonight. And I'm going to take just a minute to introduce him. And then we're going to get right to it, okay? Because we really respect your time and we only have 30 minutes here. So thank you so much for joining us. And here we go with the formality part, okay? Um, Dr. Michael Gross is an author, professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, and an entrepreneur. For more than 3 decades, he's been on a spiritual path as an intuitive, a healer, a spiritual counselor, and an incredible teacher. Through the guidance of spirit, Michael has assisted others in their personal quest for self empowerment, helping them to create the lives that they have long sought and to bring forth their own intuitive abilities. Michael currently teaches classes in spirituality, self empowerment, Reiki, and other modalities. In concert with God, the true source, he has also achieved great success and miraculous healings. Michael remains humble, knowing that the work that he does all comes from God, the true source. He lives in Lakewood, Washington. And as he begins to share his message today, I'm going to go ahead and put his contact information out in the chat for everybody so that you can connect with him when this is over, okay? So here you go, Michael.
Thank you
Well,
very much. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. What a great day it is. Every day you take a breath of air, it's a great day. I thought I'd share something very interesting. And as you know, none of this is a written script, it's all channeled. So if I hesitate or try and mispronounce a word, it's that the information is flowing so quickly that sometimes I can't keep up with it. And I want to thank to you for typing all that information into chat. So thank you. Today I thought I'd talk about healing. And there are so many areas that we need to be healed physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So we may make this a multi-parter, a multi-parter. I'll get it out there. So let's talk about physical though. Have you ever thought that there is a correlation between your emotions and experiences and your physical body? Probably not, or maybe some of you have. But in the beginning, we were asked for the gift of life so that we can experience life, the ups and downs, joys, happiness, sadness, tears, love, all kinds of things. But I wanted to address physical healing. And I guess one of the best example was many years ago, I had hurt my back and I was lying in bed for 6 months. And I ended up crawling from my bed to the refrigerator, probably wore out the rug. So there was a path you could follow. Yes, Michael was here. And as I began to contemplate it, I realized that I injured my back because I was carrying a heavy load. And part of that was because my associate in one of my businesses was goofing off and I had to carry the load. And I got angry. I went, wow. So I created this illness. Stop to think. Why do you have high blood pressure? Anxiety, frustration? Why do you have ulcers? You internalize the emotions and you end up with ulcers, or maybe indigestion, or GERD as they call it. Or perhaps you may have heart problems where you're heavy of heart, you don't feel appreciated or loved. Or gastrointestinal problems where you're not letting go of things and storing them in your body. Or perhaps a sore muscle or a ligament or whatever. You can, what we call, reverse engineer and find out what it's all about. The most important thing I wish to discuss with you is that you are responsible for your life and your health. And I want to continue about health. You know, my motto in life, there's several, but if you don't know where you're going, you can't get lost. And that's so important for you to realize. We can be our own best friend, our own best healer, our own enemy. We can become angry and upset and cause physical ailments. How many times have you ever heard, I have a headache, I'm under stress? Well, you created it. They say sometimes when you have back problems, you either have a heavy emotional load or you're worried about money. We are faced with so many decisions daily, from getting up in the morning, taking a shower or bath, whatever you do, and sooner or later brushing your teeth, what kind of clothes you're going to wear, what way you're going to go to work, what time you're going to go to work, who are you going to go to work with, who you're going to meet. All these decisions keep coming at you. Instead of like one tiny little energy, like a marble, or maybe I should say one snowflake, you get thousands of snowflakes coming to you and you become overwhelmed. And then what do? You go to an allopathic doctor, you get pills, whatever, some kind of drug, and oh, you start with one and then there's a side effect. So now you got two. Now you have a side effect to the side effect, you're three. And pretty soon you start with one and you have multiple pills because each one has a side effect. But my intent for you is to take a look at your life after you listen to this and watch this and decide, one, how did I create this imbalance in my body? How do I change it? And when can I do it? It's never ever too late to heal. Never. I was told that I had 3 disintegrating discs and I had to learn to live in pain because Dr. Nicholas Service said I was too young to have an operation, which is a polite way of saying I probably could have become bedridden for a long time. On the other hand, when I realized that I created this, then I began to work on it and began to heal. I didn't know much about healing. So I asked the true source for healing. And I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 years went by and I'm out with my wife on the farm and lifting up 150-pound bales of hay. And so the way the farm was just set up was I had a big trailer and I had to take the hay and unload it. Then I had to stack it on a platform. Then I had to place one bale on top of another. So a ton of hay became like 3 tons because we handled it twice. Ton of grain, had to unload it, put it on the platform, lift up the 40 or was it 40 or 60-pound bags and put them into steel barrels. So that became 2 tons and it never bothered me. I was fine. And that's what's so amazing. And then one time, my wife was going to Hawaii and I said, well, we'll go together. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to take a granddaughter, so she and I, and she didn't want me to come. So I'm working on the fields and I didn't like what I was seeing. And I just all of a sudden had an allergy. My eyes felt like they were bugging out of me. So I went to put on sunglasses and I went to the pharmacist, at Walgreens. And I said, you got anything for this? He said, oh my God, your eyes are popping out, your eyeballs. So I took an antihistamine and in a couple of days it was better. But I realized I had created all these things. So there are no such things as victims. We create our victimhood by allowing situations to take control of our life, take control of your life. Isn't that amazing? So we are responsible for our illness. And I want to reiterate again, what I discovered is when you're angry at someone, you're really really angry at yourself. And you would say, well, how can you say that? That person took advantage of me or did this to me. My answer is, yeah, they did. But why did you put yourself in that position? And why did you allow it? And once you look at it, you're angry for you, yourself, for putting you in that position or allow someone to walk all over you. Isn't that interesting? But then when we stop to think about all these things, well, who's in control? There are no victim of circumstances. Now you might say, if you were driving in a heavy snowstorm or it was icy out and you drove off the road and your car got stuck, well, stuff happens to me. They're going on and on and on. No, you knew better not to drive that day or stay home or perhaps drive very slowly. You knew that. But what happens? You forgot about it. And it's easy to point your finger, this one, this one, this one, this one. Point the finger here. Me, 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 me. I'm the one. I'm the one. I know Tia would like to say something.
I do. One of the things that you're talking about that I understand is that we have to be accountable for our own part in that when we get upset over something. But what happens if our thinking has been a little bit twisted from the time we were tiny? And we think in our mindset a certain way. And then, how do we untangle the mindset so that we're wiring in the proper way where we can be, unconditionally loving, like you're talking about?
Well, 2 aspirin, that'll help a great deal. And coffee. The
Okay.
truth is, we have to create a little division. Let's take a 3-year-old. We'll just use that. They're very loving and caring. And so, as a 3-year-old, you want to be happy, you want to be joyous, you want to be caring, and you come in the world and you're free and you're happy and you just want to have fun. And you get some adult or family member or a sibling or something from your church or something, and then boom, plant all these thoughts. And I always say you're trained to be negative because what's the first word you learn? No. That's one of the first words you learn. But not only do you hear it once, you hear it over. No, don't touch this. No, don't do that. No, etc. And we forget this little person has feelings. And this little person, this beautiful soul, he or she, has thoughts. But there's another part of her, which is their soul. Pretty gosh darn wise. And I remember there was a terrible twos. There was one of my clients, she had her son there and screaming, yelling, screaming, and yelling. And I closed my eyes and I said, I know the games you're playing. He looked at me and went, then he went back screaming and yelling again. He knew what he was doing to get attention. So sometimes little children push the envelope, as we say. They want to push us to know where their boundaries are. And you can scream, yell, you can spank them, say no, or you can have a conversation. Sometimes when this goes through, this child is learning through his behavior or her behavior. And that's pretty a high vibration that wants to learn that way. So to answer your question, they know exactly what they're doing. And it's up to you to be patient and help them. Of course, they're in diapers and they're hungry, and the diapers got to be changed. They're hungry. Well, that's a pretty good reason to be upset. Just think of an adult comes home, hasn't eaten all day, stuck in traffic. Their behavior is the same way. Maybe it's toned down, but there's no difference. See the similarity? You need to understand one thing, and that all of you need to take responsibility for your life. I remember one of my students came in and he put on some weight and he said, well, this is my temple and I just put an extension on it, showing his weight. He had a great sense of humor. But really, who's responsible for us putting on weight? Well, it's my emotions. It's somebody that said something to me. Oh my goodness, I don't feel loved or whatever. That's true. But why do you reach for food? We talk about comfort food. Or some people won't eat. But who the heck are you punishing? Yourself. Realize that. You're a beautiful, marvelous soul with a machine called a body that's well well designed, well oiled, lubricated, and can do anything if you let it do anything. Think about those things. So as we grow older, we put on a little bit more weight because we exercise, or maybe we don't eat like we should. And that's okay. But then you have to think, where's my limitation? There was something really important that I read, and that is this person was exercising to take off weight. And then people meditated, sat on the couch, laid down, and meditated about taking off weight and getting their body stronger. That's all they did. They walked around normally, they didn't jog. They ate whatever they felt like eating, sometimes a lot, sometimes a little. But they took off weight too, just thinking and meditating on it. They took off 2/3 more, well, I should say, 2/3 of what someone had done with exercise. So let's say the person exercising lost 12 pounds, the other person through meditation lost 9 pounds. Pretty cool. But you have to really focus on it. And that's another point I want you to understand. What the mind can conceive, the body will believe. And I hear people, oh, I better not get the COVID virus. I better not get the virus. I'm not going to get I better not get it. What are they really saying? They're saying, I'm afraid I might get it. And then we know what happens? They come down with the COVID virus. Because whatever you think, whatever the mind can conceive, the body will believe. And that's so wonderful. Therefore, you need to understand you're creating your physicalness 24/7. Pretty amazing. Now, I'm a guy that I love to eat good food, love to eat good food, love it. But I'm from the East Coast, and East Coast are people are foodies. Midwest, they're okay. And the West Coast, of course, they're into their bodies and their image. Isn't that great? We're into their bodies and image. The good part about it is they're looking after the body and keeping in shape. The bad part is they identify themselves emotionally, mentally, and physically with their body. Well, hello, what about your heart? What about your soul? What are you expressing? What are you sharing in life? What are you doing? All these beautiful thoughts, all these intricacies, they're not like this. They're like this, joining together, intertwined, and your emotions are producing a new body. It's producing whoever you are. I have a friend, and I watched him drink 4 or 5 beers at a party and maybe 7, 8 cigarettes. He's thin, doesn't get a buzz because he knows his limits. That's a lot of beer, I'll tell you, because you know where I'd be running all the time with all that beer. But on the other hand, I have to share with you, he's thin, he takes care of himself, and he stays active. And he's in his 60s. But it's amazing. And when he has a challenge, he goes, I'll just look it up on the internet, how to fix this wiring or do whatever you want to do. Pretty amazing. What do most people do? Gosh darn, I can't get this done. I think I'll have a cigarette. I think I'll have something to eat. I'm so frustrated. That's what we do. Or I'm so angry I got a headache. Why do you have a headache? Because you're under stress. The number one illness in all this planet is stress related. And look at why it's stress related. Heart condition, stress. Ulcers, gastrointestinal, GERD, stress related. Diabetes, stress related. Are you on some kind of mental, let's say, relaxation prescription? Is emotionally related. Everything we turn about us is related. I was talking to a psychologist one day, very good friend of mine, and she has a PhD. And she said psychiatrists originally did the counseling. And the only reason they had a pill, was to just get you relaxed so they could treat you emotionally and mentally. That was their purpose. And she said now all they do is push a pill and they go to the psychologist, the psychotherapist to be treated mentally and emotionally. Wow, look how our world has changed. Take this pill, you feel good. Take this pill, you feel good. I remember my sister's boyfriend, he was on a pill, some kind of anti-anxiety. Side effect is kidneys. Oops, the doctor said, you've been on this for 20 years. You shouldn't be on this too long. This is a mistake. And he's had kidney failure. Oops. But what is the cause? What is the root cause of our stress? And that's because we're looking to be accepted by everyone. We're looking to be loved. We're looking to be treated well. We're looking to be admired. We're looking to be accomplished. We're looking to be complimented. Why? You are who you are. And that's a beautiful, loving, magnificent soul created out of love, by love, and from love. That's what you are. And I say that 1,000 times. Yep. And 10 minutes later, it goes in this ear and out that other ear. Do not compare yourself to anyone else. You are unique. You are very, very unique. And you are very, very special. I remember I thought I'd share this joke, but it makes a lot of sense. And this woman goes up to the pastor and says, can you help me find a man? Pastor says, absolutely. What kind of a man would you like? Well, he has to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, shower, okay, make his bed, make his own breakfast and be responsible for breakfast. Then spend 10 to 20 minutes on the internet. And then do some exercises, walking, and talking to some friends. And then lunchtime comes up and he makes his own lunch. Then he cleans his room and the house. And then he relaxes and reads another book and shares some information. He's in charge of his own dinner, doesn't drink, doesn't carouse, doesn't cause any arguments, is passive and really nice, does his own laundry, and takes care of himself. That's the kind of man. And he's in bed by 9 o'clock and he sleeps and doesn't bother me. Do you think I could find such a man? Pastor says, absolutely. Where can I find him? And the pastor says, in prison. So I thought I'd just share this with you, a little bit of humor. We're always looking for the impossible. What you think you create and what you create, you experience. Who is in charge of your life? Who's the director of your life? And the producer? And the star? You. Decide what you so desire. Decide how you bring peace and love. Don't look externally. Look interior, in here. And then when you look in here, ask to feel the love of life and happiness. And then put on your microscopic glasses and look for the little tiny things that bring you joy, like a baby laughing, like a butterfly doing its dance, like a tree waving in the wind, or the fragrant smell of a flower, or perhaps the smell of fresh cut grass, or perhaps the warm wind on your body when you're walking, or looking at a stream and watching the fish jump in and out of the stream. Look for the tiny things, and those tiny things become bigger and bigger and bigger and more joyous. When have you ever stopped, metaphor, to smell the flowers? You're in a hurry, hurry, go, 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 go. And then you come home. And then when you come home, you may be in a bad mood. I don't care what you're, male or female. You got stuck in traffic. Someone caught you off. You're later than you wanted to be. You're hungry and you're tired. And then you lash out at somebody because you're angry. Have this sound familiar? The most important thing you can do, and I wanted to share this as well, when you come home, and if it's not late and you're not spoiling dinner, tell your wife, your husband, whoever, your parents or whatever, hi, I'm really tired. I'm just going to take a 15-minute little nap and meditation. Go into a private room, close the door, do a little 10 or 15-minute meditation, set the timer on your phone. Even if you just fall asleep, even if you just rest there, watch the change in your attitude for the rest of the evening. Because all the cares of the day are now floating away. Because you now realize there's something more important, and that is you finding harmony and peace within you and spreading it out to your family. And they will appreciate you. And listen, just don't comment. Listen to what your spouse has to say and the children have to say. And pay attention. And remember, you are the captain of your ship, and you are the leader who are going to be the beautiful soul that leads them into love and joy in their life. So I'd like you to think all about those things because I'm very passionate in my thinking. And I will admit sometimes I forget to do that. But more and more I realize I must do that and just be patient and listen. So I want to thank all of you. And I want to share so much more information. And that is every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Meditate. Every day you need to meditate. And what I recommend is inhale, dream, exhale, heaven, and get 108 pennies. I don't know, Malabees, well, something with 108, and just do that. And you know what's going to happen? Boy, this is boring. I want to get this done. It's taking too long. After 2 weeks, I really feel great after I'm through doing this. I can't wait to do this. But every time you run into a wall, so there's a bunch of malarkey, your ego goes, hey, I'm losing control. I can't create anxiety. I got to do something. And when you do to hear that, say, ego, because that's who's going to throw up the roadblock. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I'll get back to you. That's all you need to do. And you realize how powerful you become in your life. And your epitaph to your children. What a great person you are. Wow, how loving and caring you are. Think about those things. Now, I would like, before we conclude, to share with you that every Tuesday evening from 6:30 p.m. Pacific time to 7:30 Pacific time, we have a session called Soul Awakening. What does that mean? When you ask any question about spirituality, anyone, hopefully I can answer that. And there are about 300, I thought there were 350, but I think there are about 304, 305 messages. And these messages are usually 10 minutes long. So, first of all, I'd like to share with you how can you participate in the Soul Awakening where you ask any question, and hopefully I can answer that. To you, will you share that information?
Absolutely, Michael. But before I do, I want to thank you for a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful message for all of us to remember.
Thank
You
you.
really are an amazing soul. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now to the Soul Awakening phone call number. Okay. 202 926 1059 and the access code, Michael.
125-446. Pound.
I'll give it again. It's 202 926 1059 and the access code.
125-446. Pound. Using the same codes, same telephone number, every second Saturday of the month, we have what we call a mass consciousness healing. And I have to tell you, what's going around the world right now, we need you to join us. And it's Pacific time, 9:55 a.m. to 11:01 a.m. So that's 66 minutes. So important for each one of you to join us. Really important. And the reason why it's so important is we have to make a difference. So the first 3 to 5 minutes, we just chat amongst each other. Don't say too much, hi and welcome, etc. Then we go into silence, and around 10:58, I come back on. Thank you. Maybe we play a little music, get you grounded into your body, and then you feel the blessings of love and the awakenings of your soul. And then we do it the second Saturday of the next month. So to access that information is same as what I call my Tuesday night soul awakening. Would you share that?
Absolutely. 202-926-1059 and the access code, Michael?
125-446-pound. Same number. Now, there's something else I'd like to share with you. And that is all this information is on YouTube. And if you go to Dr. Michael B. Gross YouTube, you'll be able to see the 303 messages. There'll be an audible recording. You'll see a beautiful photograph by our award-winning photographer, T.U. Knapp, and a little words of motivation. Listen to them. It starts as number 3. There's a reason I did that, and someday I'll disclose it. But don't worry what the name of it is. Just, I'm tired, I'm stuck in traffic, I'm grouchy, blah, blah. I think I'll play number 47. And then I get someone calls me or texts me, boy, Michael, it's just what I needed to hear. It's called trust that intuitiveness in you. Or you can listen to all 300 of them. Bless you. If you got patience. But truly, it'll make a difference in your life. So I want to invite you to do that. And that telephone number is?
The recordings are at 434-300-4170 and the access code, Michael?
125-446-pound. One more
I'll give
time.
that one more time. It's 434-300-4170 and the code, Michael?
125-446-pound. Everyone, I would like all of you to give yourself the gift of life and healing by playing this one more time, sharing it with others, to realize that no one else is in control of your life and you're not a victim. I want to thank all of you. I want to ask all of you, when you go to YouTube, Dr. Michael B. Gross, push the button subscribe, share this with everybody so we can get out of the chaos and fear in our life. And I want to share something else. This is a book written by T.U. Knapp called Healing the Souls in Your Soul. Healing the holes in your soul. And I think I know the person that may have given the forward. It's all very, very important for all of you. This is a book about survival, renewal, and healing. Remember, you are unlimited. And this woman, I think her name is T.U. Knapp. I think I know her. She's the one who lived it, experienced it, and like the phoenix, rose from the ashes. Please.
However, start with this one. Honestly, the spiritual primer by Dr. Michael Gross, the gentleman right next to me on this video, is he's a phenomenal author. And if it wasn't for this book that I'm holding and the man that's holding my book, the book he's holding would not even be here. He's truly an inspiration. He's a beautiful guide. Any kind of spiritual questions you're after, you're not sure about, definitely connect with Michael, because the answers, like we all know, lie within, right, Michael? And
Correct.
And here's one other thing I want to encourage everybody to go to Michael's YouTube channel, because we have been doing these weekly half-hour messages for over 2.5 years. And most of them are on his YouTube channel. So hit the subscribe button and take a look at some of them and share them with your friends. It's so well worth it. And one more thing, Michael. Okay. I want to ask you, do you do a complimentary consultation?
Yes, we're both floating. Yes, I do complimentary consultations. It's listed in the chat, and I'll be glad to give you a 20 minute to half an hour complimentary consultation. By the way, my book has been sold out on Amazon. They don't have any more. I've got some new ones in, and if you would like one before I place them back on Amazon and refill it, there's a way you can contact me. I will give you a personal one, and it'll be signed, and hopefully you'll be able to share this knowledge with others and give the books a gift. Tia's book, my book, give them as gifts, because when you have the written word, it's deeply imprinted in your subconscious mind rather than when it's audibly, and it will change your life.
Not
Because,
only that, the holidays are coming. This would be a great gift, don't you think, Michael?
yes, and you are unlimited. Remember, everyone, have a great week. I look forward to speaking and seeing with you next week. We have some exciting news in about 2 weeks coming. Everyone, take care. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you,
Take care,
everyone.
everyone.